In this video, I'm going to break down and explain the ranks of warrant officer for the United States Army. What's up, friends? I am Christopher Chaos, US Army veteran, and in this video, I'm going to break down how the warrant officer rank works. Thanks to you guys, you gave an amazing amount of input and feedback and everything that you loved the enlisted rank video, so why not do a video on the warrant officer rank? If you do not see the Army enlisted explanation video, make sure to check that out. I'll leave a description down below. But without further ado, let's get into it and explain how the rank of warrant officer works in the United States Army. So the rank of warrant officer is the rank between the enlisted soldiers and the commissioned officers. It is also the only rank that you can't just come into the Army and be a warrant officer. There are some different criteria that have to be met in order for you to even get promoted to become a warrant officer. You can't just come in because you have college or anything like that and just flat out become a warrant officer. It takes a little bit of training. The soonest you could probably become a warrant officer is if you were trying to become a pilot. If you're trying to become a pilot, there is no rank restrictions as far as applying to be a warrant officer to become a pilot. Now, if you're wanting to be a warrant officer for a specific trait, to be an expert in that field, then there are some requirements you're gonna have to meet, such as they require you to at least be the rank of an E6 or a staff sergeant. Now, along with that, there's gonna be some additional requirements. Some of the things are required for you to even be in the Army in the first place, but some are additional things that you have to meet. Some of those things include you have to have a high school diploma. You're going to have to be at least 18 years old, but if you want to be a pilot, you can't be older than the age of 33, and if you just want to work in a specialty field, you cannot be older than the age of 46. There are some age waivers that people can get, and that's determined on a case-by-case basis, but at a minimum, those are kind of like the main requirements as far as age goes. The soldier also has to be a US citizen, and you may be thinking, wait a minute, doesn't the soldier have to be a US citizen to be in the Army in the first place? No, not always. There are actually some soldiers that come in the military that are not US citizens, and they get their citizenship while they're in the Army, and the Army kind of helps them with that process. The soldier must also have at least a 110 GT score, which that GT score comes from their ASVAB. And then they have to be able to pass the Army physical fitness test, meet the height and weight standards, and then they'll have a physical they'll have to do. And then if they want to be a pilot, there's a couple extra stuff, like some screenings that they have to go through to become a pilot and all that kind of jazz. There are also a few job-specific requirements that some fields require people to have for becoming a warrant officer, but we won't get into all that mumble-jumble. Those are really just the main kind of prerequisites that a soldier must have before they can put in for a warrant officer. So then if a soldier is selected for a warrant officer, they will have to go to the WOCS, or Warrant Officer Cadet School. And then once they pass that, they will be promoted to the rank of WO1, or Warrant Officer 1, and then move on to job-related training that's related to what their specialty is involved with. And after they complete that training, then they will be assigned a unit. So these are some of the requirements just to become a warrant officer. Now let's kind of break down what a warrant officer is, how they get promoted, and what kind of money does a warrant officer make. So for a soldier that is a warrant officer, there's specific ways that you address a warrant officer that are different from a regular officer or from an enlisted soldier, where like an enlisted soldier, maybe if they're a sergeant, you refer to them as sergeant, a first sergeant gets referred to as first sergeant, and then an officer usually gets referred to as sir or ma'am. Now, a warrant officer will often still get referred to as sir or ma'am when they're addressing them, but additionally they'll also be referred to as Mr. or Mrs. So if the example is a person named Smith, and they are a warrant officer, and you're addressing them, you can either address them as Mr. or Mrs. Smith, or Sir or Ma'am. Now, the very basic warrant officer is the WO1, Warrant Officer 1, and they will usually be assigned to a support team or maybe up to a battalion. Their primary duties are going to be things like a operator or a maintainer of a specific thing, maybe a trainer or an advisor. And as a warrant officer, they can expect to make somewhere around $35,000 to $60,000 a year. Now, for all these ranks, pay is going to vary a little bit here and there to the left or the right, because there's a lot of other factors that determine an individual's pay, like if they're married or if they're single, what state they claim as residency, and whether or not they're exempt from state taxes, and all sorts of other things. So just be aware that some of these figures may adjust a little left and right if you were actually in the Army and getting paid something for that rank. So the next rank up is going to be the CW2, or Chief Warrant Officer 2. Now, for a Warrant Officer 1 to get promoted to a Chief Warrant Officer 2, they have to have been a Warrant Officer 1 for at least 2 years. Additionally, they will have to complete the Warrant Officer Basic course, and then once they have met all those requirements, they will be able to be promoted to a Chief Warrant Officer 2. Now, Chief Warrant Officer 2 really has the same responsibilities as a Warrant Officer 1, they just have more knowledge and are more experienced in their field. And a CW2's pay can range anywhere from $40,000 to $67,000 a year. Now, to move up from a CW2 to a CW3 becomes a little bit harder. For that CW2 to get considered for CW3, they're gonna have to go in front of a board, and even to go to that board, they have to have been the rank of CW2 for at least 5 years if they are a warrant officer in a technical field. If they are a pilot, it's 6 years before they can be considered for CW3. And if they meet those requirements, then they will have to attend the Warrant Officer Advanced course before they can be promoted to a CW3. Now, a CW3 has very similar responsibilities as a WO1 or a CW2, but they can operate at a higher level, which they can operate up to a battalion level. Now, the yearly pay for a CW3 can range anywhere from $45,000 a year to $80,000 a year. Moving up to the next rank, CW4. Now, the promotion to CW4 is very similar to the promotion from 2 to 3. They're gonna have to do a board, and then they have to have been time and grade for at least 5 years and 6 years if they are doing aviation. And if they meet those requirements, then they will attend the Warrant Officer Staff course. Now, CW4 is now a senior tactical and technical expert. So they can work at a much, much higher level now. They can work at battalion, brigade, division, corps, and higher. And the rank of CW4 can expect to make roughly around $50,000 to $93,000 a year. Now, the final rank that a warrant officer can achieve is CW5. This is the highest level of warrant officer. Now, just like before, they have to attend a board. They have to have been time and grade of 5 years or 6 years for aviation, and then attend the Warrant Officer's Senior Staff course. Now, CW5s will be responsible for supporting divisions, higher echelon corps, and even major command operations. The CW5 is the master level of tactical and technical expert. A CW5's pay can range anywhere from $89,000 to $116,000 a year. At this point, a CW5 has probably been in the Army for about 20 years, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on how fast they tracked to get up to E6 and if they went aviation or not. So there you go, that is the explanation of the warrant officers. If you have not seen the Army enlisted explanation video, make sure to check that out down in the link below. I'll most likely do a video explaining the commissioned officer ranks, but make sure to hit that like button on this video so I know that it's really something you're interested in. Hopefully you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more military related content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm Christopher Chaos, thanks for watching the video, I will see you next time. See ya.